off and running. We
Awesome.
love virtual baseball. Any questions for Kolten? Daniel, here you go.
Hey, Kolten, welcome to Seattle. We didn't get a chance to talk to you right after the trade. Can you kind of just walk us through what your reaction was and just the emotions you felt going from one team that was trying to contend to this team here with obviously a lot of excitement?
Yeah, obviously excited, like you said. I'm at a point in my career now where I'm trying to win a ring, and obviously seeing what Seattle was able to do last year. The excitement that they brought throughout baseball last year was definitely something that made me as a player excited to come here. And, obviously seeing the talent you guys had and the pitching staff that you guys had, I just wanted to be on board. So I'm excited.
Stoney?
Yeah, hey, Kolten. What did you think of your season last year, and what are your expectations for 2023?
Yeah, I think every year is different. It's hard to really justify each year. I feel like defensively it was a really down year for me. I'm always going to kind of go to my flaws before I go to the successes. So I feel like that was something that I've been working hard on this year. And I feel like not having the shifts is definitely going to make it better for me. I felt like I was put in some situations last year where it wasn't comfortable, and it got some weird hops. So I'm excited now with no shifts, and then, just to kind of come in and continue to do what I've been doing offensively. I feel like I've been growing a lot, as a hitter and understanding the game. The older I got, the more years I've accumulated in this league. So I'm excited to continue to grow as a player, as a person, and continue to get better and do what I can, from a veteran standpoint to help the young guys, in this situation if they need any help. And, because obviously baseball is a tough sport. We all know that. And, you're going to get punched in your mouth more than you're going to get loved. So, I want to be there to help these young guys and show them that, this is all part of the game. Enjoy the process and the grind more than enjoy the results.
Ryan?
Hey, Kolten. I read somewhere where you said you kind of lost some trust in your hands. Have you talked to Perry Hill about getting that trust back, and how much conversation you've had with Perry? He's kind of a different dude to talk with.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been begging Perry to come down already. I had conversations with Jerry about getting him down here. And so I think he'll be down here, within the next few weeks. So I'm excited to get with him already. I didn't want to wait till spring training. I didn't want to wait around and waste my time. I felt like if Perry's down here and I can put in work with him, let's start as soon as possible. So, I'm excited to get with him. I was able to work with Okendo in St. Louis, who, really was the person who helped me get the first 2 Gold Gloves. And I'm excited to get with Perry now because I feel like those are 2 of, some of the best infield coaches in the game. And to have those 2 under my belt would be pretty cool.
Kolten, why do you think getting rid of the shift will actually help you defensively?
I'm a guy that I like to use my feet. I like to be able to not calculate my steps, but, just understand what foot is important to catch the baseball. And sometimes when you're put in those weird positions, you're kind of put in a standstill, and there's a lot of balls last year where, it was hit at me in such a weird position that I wasn't able to kind of really work around it and get through. And I think that's why, I was kind of getting caught in bad hops and, had some bad things happen last year where I think this year is going to give me the ability to use my athleticism and get to the ball how I want to get to, the way that I know that I can get to it, corral it, and still make a good throw. So I feel like that's going to be a big thing for me. It's going to also, eliminate all these guys who aren't second basemen. I feel like, second base has kind of been a position that people always overlooked and they don't realize how hard it is to play. But now that there's no shifts, you're really going to see the true second basemen out there.
Kolten, I'm curious what your prior relationships with the front office here with the Mariners was like, and if you have prior relationships with players on the team that'll make it easier to transition and fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, not really much relationship with the front office. I'll talk to them back in free agency back in 2021, I think it was. And, we were close to almost getting a deal done. Obviously, I went with Milwaukee, so nothing bad at that point. I think in free agency, you just kind of taking everything with a grain of salt, understanding that, everybody's just trying to make the team better and do it as cheap as possible. So, it's one of those things. But I played with Marco. I played against JP, but I really haven't played against the Seattle Mariners much in my career. I think maybe twice, and so I'm excited just to come and meet new people, being in a different organization, being in a different division, just something that I've never done. I've been in the Central my whole career and the NL Central. So it's like, it's a big change for me, but I'm very excited to be, in something, very new.
Tim?
Colton, this question comes from Mariner Mojo on YouTube. Have you talked to J.P. Crawford this offseason, and how do you feel about the two of you up the middle?
Yeah, so I've talked to him a little bit. Obviously, we both have families and whatnot, and the off season's always tough with all the seasons coming up. But I talked to him for a little bit, and very excited. When you watch JP play, you see a guy who's out there grinding every single day, a guy who plays the game the right way, has that swagger. And defensively, he's one of the premier guys you want to watch. He's always fun. He's always making some kind of acrobatic play, and I feel like me and him up the middle, it's kind of the same guy on both sides. You're going to get that athleticism. You're going to get, that grinder mentality. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to show up every day and, hit all the time, but I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to make sure I go first, third. I'm going to steal that important bag. I'm going to make that important defensive play. And I think JP's the same way. So, having us two up the middle to, kind of be that spark and be that excitement. Obviously, you got, Julio kind of running the show, and rightfully so. The guy's, amazing to watch. He's an amazing player. And for how young he is, it just seems like his maturity is through the roof. So, watch us through up the middle. I think it's going to be very fun. And with that pitching staff, I think me and JP are really going to have fun, doing some plays behind these guys.
Colton, obviously a baseball decision to come to Seattle, everything you just talked about with the way this roster is built up. But how much of a factor is it when, you see that playoff game and you see the atmosphere and see how excited this town is for baseball? How much does that weigh into, how excited you are to play here?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. Obviously, just kind of watching it, as a baseball fan and seeing that stadium, playing there was one thing. It's pretty cool to play in that stadium, knowing that, greats like Ken Griffey played there, guys that, for me as a young kid growing up, that was the left-handed swing that I emulated. That was the guy that I watched. So to see, that stadium in person and then to realize, like, man, I wonder what this stadium is like fully packed. And then see it, in the playoffs and see the excitement and see how rowdy the fans got. I think at that point you just realize that if I ever get a chance to play here, like, I want to play in the postseason. I want to be a part of some magic here, and these fans are going to continue to push us and lead the players. At the end of the day, that's kind of what fuels players. It's like the fans coming in, the fans pushing us and keeping us on our toes, excited to play. And Seattle just seems like the fan base there is incredible, and I can't wait to see it.
Colton, you talked about wanting to help out the young players. I'm curious as to who helped out you when you were that player. Who were the influential guys in your clubhouses?
Yes, I mean, I had a lot. When I first got caught up, I was I think I was like one of the first waves of the younger generation kind of getting into the big leagues. Before, you had to be like 27, 28, it seemed like, to actually crack the big leagues. So, I had a lot of good guys that helped me. Matt Holloway was a huge help for me. When I first got drafted, he kind of took me under his wing and flew me up to St. Louis and showed me the ropes of what it's like to be a pro baseball player. I got to train with him for a week. John Jay is my guy. He's like one of my best friends. He was my mentor when I was young. Helped me a lot, through my transitions of failing and whatnot at this level. Daniel Descalso, was a big guy for me defensively, helping me understand, the importance of, fundamentals and making sure that, you corral the baseball first, then you make the play. So, I was very lucky to be in St. Louis at that time to have a lot of older guys. Obviously I had that veteran treatment, which is a little tough, but, I think it's something that is overlooked nowadays because guys don't get to appreciate that anymore. And I'm very, very grateful that I did.
Anything else for Kolten? Kolten, thank you very much for